There's a kind of loneliness that people don't talk about very often. Not the dramatic kind, not heartbreak, not being completely alone, but the quiet feeling of not quite belonging anywhere. A feeling that's difficult to explain because nothing is obviously wrong. Your life may look normal from the outside. You go places, you speak with people, you respond to messages, you show up where you're expected to be. And yet, something inside remains untouched. You can be surrounded by people. You can have conversations, plans, routines. You can laugh at the right moments and still feel a small distance between yourself and the world around you. As if everyone else received an invisible instruction manual for connection, and you somehow missed that page. It isn't loud loneliness. It doesn't demand attention. It's subtle, persistent. A quiet awareness that something essential is missing. For a long time, loneliness is treated like a problem to fix. People say, go out more, meet new people, stay busy, distract yourself, as if loneliness were simply a lack of activity, as if filling your schedule could automatically fill your heart. But sometimes, loneliness isn't about absence. Sometimes it's about misalignment. You may not be lonely because nobody is there. You may feel lonely because very few spaces allow you to be fully yourself. Places where you don't have to adjust your personality, where you don't have to filter your thoughts, where silence feels comfortable instead of awkward. Some people need constant interaction. Others need something quieter, emotional safety, meaningful conversation, presence without performance. And when those things are missing, the nervous system notices, even if everything looks fine on the outside. Your body understands authenticity long before your mind explains it. I remember asking myself for years, why do I still feel alone, even when I try? I met people, I showed up, I did everything I was supposed to do, and still, something felt distant. For a long time, I thought loneliness meant I was doing life incorrectly. But slowly, I realized something important. My loneliness wasn't a failure. It was a signal that my inner world was asking for deeper connection, not more connection. Because quantity and closeness are not the same thing. You can know many people and still feel unseen. Loneliness, for me, became a form of honesty. A quiet refusal to stay in relationships that didn't feel real. Not intentionally, not dramatically. Just a gentle awareness that something essential was missing. And once I understood that, the feeling changed. I stopped seeing loneliness as proof that something was wrong with me. I started seeing it as information. There was a period of my life where I felt slightly outside of everything. Not rejected, not broken, just waiting for resonance, waiting for conversations that felt natural, for people who didn't require pretending, for moments where I could simply exist without performing a version of myself. And eventually, something shifted. Not suddenly, not magically, but quietly. When I stopped trying to force connection and allowed myself to be more honest about who I was, the loneliness became lighter. It turned into space. And that space made room for real connection to appear. I began noticing small moments instead of searching desperately. A calm conversation, unexpected understanding, someone listening without trying to fix me. And those moments felt different, peaceful instead of exhausting. I didn't feel lonely in them, I felt seen. And that's how I knew the loneliness had never been the enemy. It was guiding me toward alignment. What if you're not wrong because you're alone? What if loneliness is not a mistake in your life story, but simply a season you're moving through? What if nothing is broken in you just because your circle is small, or because meaningful connection has taken longer to find? Maybe being alone is not a punishment. Maybe it's part of learning who you are without noise, without expectations, without pretending. You don't have to rush out of loneliness to prove your worth. You are already enough company for your own life. And sometimes, learning to sit peacefully with yourself is what makes future connection feel real when it arrives. If you feel comfortable sharing, when do you feel loneliness the most? Around people, or when you're physically alone? I will be here again soon. Until then, take gentle care of yourself.